Good evening, everyone. My name is Sharon Kentz, and I am here to voice my opposition to the implementation of TeenScreen at Hoover High School. I am a retired teacher, a board member of Able Child and California Eagle Forum. I am also a trustee for Sierra Unified School District, but I cannot speak for them. TeenScreen is touted as a suicide prevention tool, but it seems to be a marketing scheme to label thousands of children with dubious psychiatric disorders and drug them. It is controversial for many reasons, including violation of student privacy and parental rights, vague subjective labeling, common referrals for dangerous and ineffective psychotropic drugs, and the unethical connection of TeenScreen personnel with drug manufacturers. For 16 years, Lori Flynn, the director of TeenScreen, was head of the National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, which is nothing but a front group for the pharmaceutical companies receiving millions of dollars annually from them. The TeenScreen questionnaire is based on the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which is totally subjective and unscientific. TeenScreen, employs a 10-minute computerized self-administered questionnaire which purports to indicate a number of mental disorders, including suicidal ideation. The test is loaded for positive responses, which means kids are labeled with mental disorders for answering yes to questions that reflect normal teenage feelings, thought, and behaviors. David Schaefer, the psychiatrist who developed TS, admits that TS does identify a whole bunch of kids who aren't suicidal, so you get a lot of false positives, about 84%. Once a student is flagged, the next step is referral to a mental health professional. 9 out of 10 children walk out of a psychiatrist's office with a drug prescription. All of the antidepressants and antipsychotics carry FDA black box warnings about suicidality. The psychostimulants also have heightened FDA warnings, including black box, about multiple adverse events. It is a myth that there is an epidemic of childhood suicides. According to the U.S. Center for Disease Control, the suicide rate among children fell by 25% in the last decade. There is no evidence that screening for suicide risk reduces suicide attempts or mortality, and there is limited evidence on the accuracy of screening tools to identify suicide risk. This was the conclusion of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force. I have looked at the screening results for the 265 Hoover High School 10th graders who were screened last year and was incredulous at the figures. The percentage of students with positive diagnostic impressions adds up to 100%. To what agency were those students who survived the debriefing and interviewing process referred? How many of them have been sucked into the psychiatric drug market? I have given you a copy of the Stop TeenScreen petition, which has been signed by 11,000 people nationally. This petition was written as a result of the screening of an Indiana student whose parents were not notified of the screening. This normal student was falsely diagnosed as having 2 mental disorders. Her parents were outraged, and with the counsel of the Rutherford Institute, have filed federal lawsuits against the school district and the psychiatric facility partner of the district. Fresno Unified School District families deserve to know about this controversial, dangerous program. We tell our children to just say no to drugs and then turn around and give them an endless supply of psychiatric, mind-altering, brain-damaging drugs that are just as toxic. I hope you will take another look at this very harmful program and stop it dead in its tracks. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.